Why is it important to turn negativity into positivity? How does that affect our life? Well, sort of dovetailing off of the last video I made, this whole reality is your creation based on your perception, which is all within your control. You can focus on the black or you can focus on the white. And our thoughts become things. What we think about continuously, we feed our attention to, and what we give our attention to grows. So if we are continuously in this negative spiral, which I've been caught in plenty of times in my life, where I'm just going down this negative spiral drain, of course my life is going to reflect that. So how do we change that? How do we alchemize this negativity that we feel into positivity? Well, the first thing, like all things, is awareness. Are we even aware of how we're thinking? Are we aware of the perception that we have going on in our lives? If we aren't even conscious of what we're doing, there's no hope of changing it. We are simply going to continue on this spiral, and you can look for escapes in addictions, in pleasure, in all types of different ways to get some temporary relief. You'll feel better maybe for a little bit, and then you're really not solving the root of the problem, which is really your mind. You need to fix the way you think about what your problem is. I was reading the Yoga Sutras, Papajanli, I believe that's how you say it. Can't say any of these Indian names. Papajanli's Yoga Sutras, and on his path to no mind, one of the steps in his science of inner transformation is turning all your thoughts into a positive outlook, turning everything that you're going through and finding a way to make it help you grow, to make it help you on your path of life. And this can be challenging. This can be hard. I know I've found myself like, okay, I'm stuck in this negative spiral. All right, I'm going to look at the good. What am I learning? What can I gain from this? And then I'm doing all right. And then maybe a couple hours later, I'm back in my negative spiral. Why am I thinking back how I was? And this is the work. This is how we change our perceptions and we change our reality. We go back and we rewire our brain. We can literally change the habits that we have, the thoughts we have, and it changes the way our brain works and fires and physically alters the neurons that are connected, and ultimately leads us to a new place and allows us to enjoy this life, which is what we should be doing. And that doesn't mean there aren't times when there's storms, and sometimes you have to rest. If you get injured, you're going to have to sit down for a little bit, whether that's a broken heart, a broken bone, a broken whatever. Sometimes life falls apart and you got to sit down and you got to rest. And that's totally fine. And maybe that can become the bedrock of your new growth, your new chapter. There's so many different chapters in this life. And as we move from one to the next, it can feel like our entire life is ending. It can feel like everything we thought that was going to happen is no longer happening. We're going in this totally different direction. It's something that wasn't planned. something that you weren't prepared for. And that's totally all right. And it's totally part of the journey and the different chapters. And if we continue to drag this old chapter into the new chapter, we're just going to be stuck. And then, of course, we're going to be in this negative spiral again because we aren't growing. We're stagnating, and either you're growing or you're dying. These are the two states in nature. If you look out into nature, everything is either growing or it's dying. So we have to choose the growth path. We have to choose to lean into the positivity and the expansion. And what has helped me really, when I can't find any positivity or I'm struggling to keep falling back into the old negativity, what really helps me is to take the focus off of me and put it onto others, helping other people. It just changes what's important in my story, in my life, in my reality. So how can I take my suffering and how can I make that a benefit for someone else? Whether that's simply enduring what I'm going through or writing down what lessons I learned, walking the path that someone else that's younger than me, older than me, whatever, in a different life, how can they benefit from me getting through this experience, from me learning to change what I'm seeing? And so make it about someone else. It can be anybody. It can be your family, your friends. It can be random people on the internet that you don't even know, like all of you people that I'm learning, I'm meeting and connecting with and building this awesome community through whether people leaving comments or jumping on calls with me, just putting myself out there as an offering to you to help you grow, to make my story help someone else. And then you can in turn do that for someone else. You can do that for me. We all bounce ideas and energy off of each other, and this allows us to continuously expand and grow, because at the root there really is only one consciousness here. Once you see that, you can't unsee it. But at the same time, we have to play our roles. We have to play our game. This is the gift of being alive. This is the gift of being a human. You get to have your own perspective. This is your ego. This is your character, your avatar. This is how we navigate this world. And it's completely paradoxical and beyond what our minds can comprehend, but it's also the most beautiful, wild ride that consciousness can fathom, which is why we're here. And so to make that ride a little better, you have to switch that negative thinking into positive thinking. And I know it can be difficult and challenging, and the last couple of years for me have been very difficult, very challenging. And now I can feel myself when I slip into negative thinking. All right, switch awareness. How can I make this positive? How can I make this about someone else? And then I'm off to the races. I'm off to a whole new perception of what this life is. I think that's a good place to leave this video. You have complete sovereignty to turn any situation into a positive situation, even if that's just accepting the negative situation. I love you. If you're interested in a one-on-one call, check out my website, book a time. I'd love to connect with you. Ciao.